first off, you're an anesthesiologist. You've got crazy schedule. You're a dad, and your life is crazy. We just had a couple great conversations just now, but I wanted to ask you a couple right now that I think will hopefully help other people like yourself, but also just other men in general, to help them better understand what's possible and what's out there. Because you're very
Sure.
busy, you're very hardworking, and you crushed it throughout our time together. But you also had some aha moments, I think, as well, that might resonate for a lot of people. So
Definitely.
if you can kind of help me and help them understand, like, what were you struggling with before we met, before we started working together?
Biggest struggle was probably spending or finding the time to spend what I felt was enough time in the gym working out, and then also maintaining and really not paying attention too much to caloric intake, to how much protein I was getting daily, just trying to make good food choices and healthy food choices the best I could for my options. And a lot of those options were eating hospital food or what's in front of me, what's being served, instead of either bringing stuff myself, making stuff, meal prepping, and then also time wise, just there's not enough time in the day to sometimes do both, and understanding how much more important the diet is. And then getting into the gym and just getting it done with the workout programs that were set up. They're manageable where I could actually get the in, get out 30 to 60 minutes before I was always an hour and a half,
Mm.
pushing it. And then just more consistency in those days that I was there made a big difference, and a couple aha moments when you realize if you make good food choices, you're going to see better results versus, the extra hour you spend in the gym.
Mm, mm. So what were some of the things that we implemented for you that really helped?
So the implementing the my fitness pal and getting logging those foods, um, logging those weekly reports, taking those measurements, um, had some motivation to kind of get there. And then also just having the routine set. So having like, here's what you're doing Monday, through Sunday. Here's what you need to do every day of the week. Get that done. You're going to see results. You just follow the program, trust in it. It's hard to, sometimes if you've been working out or lifting for 20 years, like I have, you kind of get set in a mold and you think that if you fall outside, you're going to lose some things. And
Mm,
just having faith in the program and following that, you're going to see better results. And that's what I was doing.
mm. And what were the results? What did you achieve other than the weight loss? What other kinds of things do you feel like you gained from the program?
My lower back does not hurt. Getting into the core program, for the last several years, I had some low lumbar back pain that was probably from just overdoing it on certain lifts and having a weaker core than I should, focusing on kind of your beach muscle type, workouts. And so strengthening the core, strengthening my legs, gradually getting into things, not hitting the heavier weights and just doing the rep counts that you had set up,
Mm,
foam rolling, stretching, kind of those routines and general walking. And I don't have that discomfort anymore. That's phenomenal.
mm. And you mentioned you lost what, about 12, 13 pounds in 16 weeks?
Uh, yeah, maybe a little bit more, right around that mark though. Yeah. Yeah. And that was with comfort. I think if I would have even been more disciplined on there and actually been able to follow that 100%, it would have been even better. Yeah, and then maintaining strength and size. My clothes fit well. I'm not bagging anything. Muscle, I feel like stayed on. Strength stayed on. It was kind of pure body fat loss, which was phenomenal to see.
What would you say to somebody that's sitting on the fence, that like wants to make this commitment but maybe can't find the right program, or and then they come across this offer, and like, what would you say to somebody that will make them want to make that decision? Like, if they're sitting on the fence, what would you tell them?
I think if they're like me, if you're sitting on the fence and you've done everything on your own in the past, or even if you've done other programs before and had a trainer and you're just still not seeing the results you want, if you take this seriously and you're self-disciplined enough and you can utilize, Sean's knowledge, you're gonna see a difference. And like I said before, I've done this on my own and through collegiate athletics and high school athletics for 20 years, and then afterwards, and I've been able to see a big difference, a big change, learned a ton. And I think if you're on the fence and you really want to see a change, this program would actually do it for you.
Hmm. And I didn't pay you to say that. You
No.
mentioned one thing, and it's believing in the process.
Right. Yeah.
Right. When you
Yeah.
believe in something, you don't look left or you don't look right, and you don't
Yeah.
get really distracted because you believe that the plan that is in front of you is actually going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got to do that. Yeah. And that was the thing too. You don't get off and, start looking at different, programs while you're on this and considering, well, I wasn't doing it this way, or somebody else, some influencer saying you should do this instead. I followed it to a T. I had, less pain, discomfort, followed techniques. We're able to follow the videos and some of the other lists that maybe I haven't done before or in a different variety, and just kept consistently doing those things. And it works.